Long ago, in the ancient land of Egypt, there lived a mighty and ambitious ruler known as Pharaoh Menkaure. He was a charismatic leader who had ascended to the throne at a young age, inheriting the power and riches of his ancestors. Menkaure believed that he was destined to be the greatest pharaoh Egypt had ever known. From the outset of his reign, Pharaoh Menkaure was consumed by grandiose visions of building colossal monuments that would immortalize his legacy. His most ambitious project was the construction of a massive pyramid, towering over the vast desert, surpassing all others in magnificence. To achieve his grand vision, he demanded unwavering loyalty and obedience from his subjects, pushing them beyond their limits. Pharaoh, as his subjects affectionately called him, was initially adored and admired by the people. However, as time passed, his obsession with power and control became apparent. He levied exorbitant taxes on his citizens, exploiting their hard work and dedication to fund his grand projects. The once thriving economy began to falter, and whispers of discontent started to spread among the populace. As the pyramid's construction continued, Pharaoh Menkaure became increasingly ruthless, dismissing the advice of his wise advisors and dismissing their concerns. He believed himself to be a divine being, chosen by the gods to lead Egypt to eternal glory. This arrogance blinded him to the needs and suffering of his people, leading to unrest and rebellion brewing in the shadows. One day, a brave and compassionate young woman named Nefertari stepped forward. She had witnessed the suffering of her fellow Egyptians and felt compelled to confront Pharaoh about his tyranny. Despite the risks, Nefertari approached the palace, her heart filled with courage and determination. Nefertari pleaded with the pharaoh to reconsider his ways, to remember the wisdom of his ancestors, and to govern with compassion and empathy. But Pharaoh Menkaure, consumed by his own hubris, dismissed her words, viewing her as a mere peasant unworthy of his attention. As the people's discontent grew, whispers of a prophecy emerged. It spoke of a time when a just and humble ruler would rise to challenge Pharaoh's tyranny and restore balance to Egypt. This prophecy kindled hope among the downtrodden, and a resistance movement began to take shape. Amidst growing unrest, Pharaoh Menkaure remained steadfast in his beliefs, dismissing the warnings of his advisors and the whispers of the prophecy. He believed himself invincible and beyond the reach of any threat, let alone from his own people. But the prophecy's fulfillment came swiftly when a charismatic and enigmatic figure named Amun, who claimed to be the chosen one, emerged from the shadows. As more and more people rallied behind Amun, Pharaoh Menkaure found himself facing a formidable foe. A great battle ensued between the pharaoh's loyalists and Amun's determined followers. Despite his superior military might, Pharaoh Menkaure could not suppress the will of the people any longer. In a climactic showdown, the palace walls fell, and Amun's forces stormed in, bringing an end to the tyrant's reign. In the aftermath, Pharaoh Menkaure was captured and brought before Amun. As he stood before the one he had once dismissed as insignificant, he finally understood the consequences of his arrogance and hubris. It was not his might or power that had brought Egypt to greatness, but the unity and spirit of its people. With a heavy heart, Pharaoh Menkaure stepped down from his throne, humbled and defeated. Amun assumed the mantle of leadership, vowing to govern with compassion, wisdom, and a commitment to unity among all Egyptians. And so, the legacy of Pharaoh Menkaure, once filled with ambition and hubris, would forever be a cautionary tale for future generations to heed.